Hello, everyone. We're gonna do a live today with HIPS, a nonprofit in the DC area. Um, hey, welcome to the live. We're gonna welcome HIPS in just a moment, and they're gonna talk about the services that they have. We're gonna talk about the services that we have. Just give us a minute as they kind of enter. We're really excited to talk with them. We have been doing a lot of Instagram lives with other nonprofits in DC just to show you like partner services that we have, just to show you like all that's out there. Hello Latino Forever 9. And so this is going to be really fun. We're going to talk with a good friend of mine, Alexandra Bradley. She's great. Just gotta wait for her to log on, and then we will get this show on the road. While we're waiting, just wondering, like, how are you guys doing? Please put in the chat how your weekend was, how you're enjoying the warm weather. Hips is entering the chat, so we will get going as soon as they request. Anyone want to talk about their weekend? You can put it in the chat. I had a beautiful time.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? So good to see you.
How's it going?
Welcome to Instagram Live. Is this your first one?
It is.
So exciting. Is it everything you hoped and dreamed of?
We'll find out, huh?
Yeah, good answer. You don't know what's cool. How are you doing today?
Doing okay. Happy to be back in the swing of things. Yeah, everything's chill.
Because you guys were off last week, right?
We were taking some much needed rest after about 6 months of going full time since the start of COVID. So I know everybody really appreciated some time off, but now we're back full energy, ready to go for everything that comes ahead.
So exciting. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and get started? We have a few people watching.
Yeah,
I want to
let's do it.
My name is Brendan Pulsifer. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am the social media outreach HIV prevention coordinator at Whitman-Walker Health.
Hey, I'm Alex Bradley. I am the outreach and community engagement manager at HIPS, and my pronouns are flexible, she, he, or they. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
And so I think kind of the purpose of this is like, during the COVID-19 pandemic, it's really hard to reach our communities in person. Just because we physically can't go outside, we can't hold any events, we can't do any venues. And so we need to figure out, like, how are people going to know that we're here, that we exist? And social media is a really good way to do that distantly. And we want to tell all of our Instagram followers about all the great work that HIPS is doing. And hopefully HIPS's followers might be interested in the work that we're doing. And so this kind of can be a great way to hear about like different things that are available in the community for you.
For sure.
Okay. Alex, how do you want to do this? Do you want to ask me a question? You want me to ask you a question?
Sure, I'll start. I can ask you some questions.
Okay.
So tell us more about what Whitman-Walker is, how y'all started, what your deal is.
So Whitman-Walker Health is a nonprofit health center in the DC area with a mission to offer affirming community-based health and wellness services. We have a special expertise in LGBTQ and HIV care. That's because we got our start in 1973 as the Gay Men's VD Clinic in like a basement of the Georgetown Lutheran Church. Come a long way since then. We've grown to service thousands of clients in the DMV area in 4 main locations. So 2 are in Northwest DC, kind of by Logan Circle, and then 1 is Eastern Market, and then 1 is Southeast. It's called our Max Robinson Center. The Eastern Market location is kind of closed right now just due to COVID, but the other locations are still going. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And what services do y'all offer to folks? Or what are like your main menu of services?
So we did start as a VD clinic, so we definitely like have an expertise in like sexually transmitted diseases, but I do want to emphasize just how much Whitman-Walker has grown since then. So like, for example, we offer just like straight up primary care. We have dozens of medical providers, community health workers who can connect you with primary medical services. So you can have your PCP at Whitman-Walker. We can connect you to HIV medical care. We have a specialty in HIV care. We can get you post-exposure prophylaxis or PEP if you think you've been exposed to HIV, pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP if you're interested in preventing against HIV with medication. We can give you gynecological care, aesthetic medicines. We have like a lot of those services. We have legal services. So like our legal team can help you break down barriers and like achieve improved health and wellness through that realm. We worked with patients living with HIV, members of the LGBTQ community, but we can also help just like truly anyone with any issues dealing with health insurance, work disputes, discrimination, disability, public benefits. Like I could go on, particularly identity documents for trans and gender expansive clients. We have a dental office. You can get your dentistry done here. We have gender affirming care and services. So anything from medical, behavioral health services. We have gender affirming hormone therapy, trans care navigation, counseling. We can provide referrals for gender affirming surgery. We have a behavioral health team of licensed psychotherapists that can do group therapy, that can do individual one-on-one therapy. We have insurance navigation if you're unsure whether like you have insurance, if you want a new plan, if you're not sure how medical insurance is going to work for you, we can do that. We have a DC Health Link Enrollment Center. And then we have a youth and family support team, so they can tailor health and social programs for people just ages 13 to 24. We have free HIV and STI testing 5 days a week from 9 to 5. You just call to make an appointment, totally free, don't even take out your insurance. We have a team here to help you. I just want to note that some of these services are a little bit different in the pandemic. So like primary care, gender affirming care, behavioral health, legal services, insurance navigation, all that is just through the phone. So it's like a telehealth appointment. You still can come in for HIV care. You still can come in for dental care, but like most services we're going to do over the phone. And we're also now offering COVID-19 testing. So you can call us and you can just like get a screening for that as well, and evaluation and treatment. Latino Forever 9 says the laboratory is open. Latino Forever 9, can you kind of elaborate? What kind of laboratory are you talking about? We can do labs for like STI testing, if that's what you're referring to.
I think they had asked about that further up in the chat. So that might be what they were talking about.
Yeah, so
but
all you do...
If y'all have more questions, elaborate.
Yeah, so ready? If you're listening, the number to call for an HIV STI test is 202-797-4439. So write that down. That's the number. You call. The lab is open. We do HIV tests. It's an instant test, so you find out right that day. And then you also get STI tests. We do urine tests, blood test, throat swabs, rectal swabs. Make sure you call that number to make the appointment because we don't have walk-in services. So I hope that answers the question. So yes, the lab is open.
Pause cross. And you've already touched on some of this, but is there anything else that people should know about what's different during COVID from usual?
Pretty much like what I was saying. So a lot of it's telehealth. You can still come in for like the lab is open. You can come in HIV, STI tests. You know, you can come in obviously for COVID-19 testing, but I just do want to emphasize that we care about your safety, and to prevent the spread of the pandemic, a lot of our services are going to be remote through virtual care.
For sure, for sure. And aside from the phone number that you already mentioned, are there other ways folks can get connected to your services?
Yeah, so I would recommend you can call like our main general line, and that's 202-745-7000. And that is just going to bring you to pretty much anything you want. You can press a number and it'll connect you to that service. Might take a little bit just because we're really busy right now, but that's our general line. You can also always go to our website and you can read more detailed descriptions of the different services we offer, and you might get like a more specific phone number to call if you go to the website. So I would recommend checking that out too, just because that's pretty cool.
For sure. What's your website?
The website is it's www.whitman-walker.org.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's all the questions I have for you.
Very similar questions for you, Alex. What is
Sweet.
HIPS? How'd you get started?
Ooh, HIPS. Okay, HIPS is now, the name has actually changed iterations a couple of times over the years, but currently the acronym stands for Honoring Individual Power and Strength. We started out in 1993 as a super small harm reduction organization. We've grown a lot since then. Our first focus was on sex workers, so people engaged in street-based sex work in particular. But since then, we've expanded to provide services to folks who use drugs, more explicitly, folks who are LGBTQIA+, and just to provide a plethora of services. Kind of we tried to rise to meet the needs that were brought to us by the folks we were talking to. Our brick and mortar location is on 906 H Street Northeast. And while the drop-in center is closed, you can still actually access services outside at the table, out front every day. So don't hesitate to drop by if you need stuff from us. Or you can reach our mobile services, which is also open 6 days a week, almost every week. And we can come to you if need be. Which day we can get to you depends on what part of the city you're in. We tend to break it up by quadrant. So that's how we work. We also have an annex at the Downtown Day Services Center, which is the DHS facility, and that's at 1313 New York Avenue Northwest. And they're kind of operating under the same situation where they're having a table outside where you can access most of the services that you would have been able to access inside. But yeah, HIPS, I'll just read our mission statement. HIPS promotes the health, rights, and dignity of individuals and communities impacted by sexual exchange and/or drug use due to choice, coercion, and/or circumstance. And our goal is to provide compassionate harm reduction services, advocacy, and community engagement that is respectful, non-judgmental, and affirms and honors individual power and agency. So that's kind of where we are. And yeah, that's our mission, but I can say more.
Wow, that's really cool. What services do you guys normally offer?
Yeah, I can kind of run down the list. So some of our most commonly accessed services are the syringe exchange program. So we're one of 3 main organizations that provide syringe exchange in the district. And we also have a naloxone distribution program. So that would be the drug that folks can use to reverse an opioid overdose. You're able to get both naloxone or Narcan from us, but also to get trained on how to use it, just to either for somebody that you know or just to help keep your community more safe. Obviously, we have safer sex supplies, condoms, insertable condoms, finger cuts, dental dams, lube, all that great stuff that we provide at the center and on our outreach van. And then we have kind of just like a lot of the more interpersonal things. So we have, you can obviously talk with us on the van. We have micro counseling either on the van or on our 24-hour hotline, which is, I'll say this a couple times, but 1-800-676-4477. You can call that at any time of day. Sometimes it's a volunteer, sometimes it's a staff member, but you'll get to talk to somebody. We also have more intensive services, kind of more along the lines of some of the stuff y'all do. So we have mental health services, individual counseling, as well as peer support groups. Those are actually still happening during COVID. It's just either virtual for the individual sessions, or we do outdoor groups, peer support groups on a bi-weekly basis at Anacostia, along the Anacostia Park. We also have housing navigation support that's mostly over the phone right now. HIV and Hep C testing. So you can come to our drop-in center Tuesdays from 11 to 1, and we have just walk-ins for HIV and Hep C testing. You can also get care navigation if you end up testing positive, so that's there. We have linkage to PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, and as well as substance use treatment. So the type of medication-assisted treatment that we offer is Suboxone, which is buprenorphine as well. You might have heard of it that way. And also you can just get access to other types of substance use treatment as well, but that's the medication one that we offer on site. We also have clothing closet, and typically we would have showers and laundry. Obviously, folks can't come in the center right now, but when we're back to a world that we are more familiar with, that will be available again in our drop-in center.
Yeah, how have you guys been navigating like not being in the office as much? Like, have you been able to offer the same services? Like, what does COVID-19 make HIPS look like?
Yeah, HIPS folks are resilient. um, Part of the reason we took that break is none of us know how to take any time off. So we've been pretty much operating um, almost business as usual since the start of COVID. The only thing that's like majorly changed is our in-person in center services. So like things like being able to hang out in our drop-in center. A lot of folks used to just come and spend the day there. That's not really an option anymore just because of keeping everybody safe. Showers, laundry, things like that. But we've still been providing snacks and meals to go. We've still been providing a clothing closet, which we have set up outside during the day. Mobile services has been operating pretty much business as usual since the start. And that's like a delivery and or like rolling. So when we go out just into the communities and hit hotspots where folks tend to gather, and we just go out and offer condoms and safer sex supplies and needles and naloxone and all that good stuff. So really a lot of it hasn't changed. The biggest changes have been for like our clinical and more intensive supportive services, and that's just that stuff has moved to the phone or to digital appointments if possible. But really a lot of stuff has kept going as much as we possibly can because we know like even though COVID is here, folks are in the same place and still need support. So we're here for that.
Yeah, and there's a question, a comment, just can folks still drop off their laundry?
Oof, not at the moment. We haven't been doing kind of general laundry services. We're working on figuring out how to make that work. But I can definitely reach out to our social services manager and get back to folks about that. Thanks for asking.
Cool. And how would you talked about it a little bit already, but like how would I access the services that HIPS has?
Yeah, a couple of options. Our hotline is always a go-to. I see it pinned in the chat, 1-800-676-4477. If the person answering the phone can't help you right away, they'll like take down your information or refer it to someone on our outreach team or whichever team needs to address the issue. If you're looking specifically for MAT, so Suboxone, you'll want to call the clinical services team. That number is 202-834-1982. And that's if you're just looking for Suboxone, that's a specific line that'll get you the answers to the question that you need. They're typically available 8 to 3 daily. So if you want to reach, or Monday through Friday. So if you want to reach out to them about getting connected to MAT, please do. Otherwise, give a call on our hotline, or if it's outside those hours, call our hotline. And we can take down your information and they can get back to you as soon as possible. If you're not comfortable using the phone, you can also hit me up at outreach@hips.org. That's outreach @hips.org. That's the outreach team's email, and we can triage from there and help you find what you need to find. And then you can also check out our website. Some important information is pinned up at the top there, and that's www.hips.org. So yeah, or follow us on social media here, obviously. Facebook is I Love HIPS, and Twitter is HIPSDC.
That's awesome. I'm just going to run through because this is maybe the most important part. Like if you need Whitman-Walker, you should call the number that's pinned. It's 202-745-7000. You can also email us to make an appointment. It's appointments@whitman-walker.org. Or you can go to our website, and our website has so many different phone numbers to call, email addresses. Like when in doubt, just go to the website and peruse our services. And we also have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook @Whitman-Walker, Whitman-Walker Health. Go find us. And what was HIPS one more time? All those numbers, all those emails, everything?
Yeah, the big one is 1-800-676-4477. That's the one that's pinned. That's our hotline 24/7. You could probably find anything else you need from there. But www.hips.org is our website, and you can follow us on social media at HIPSDC or on Facebook at I Love HIPS.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to say, Alex, before we kind of
I knew I was going to say I have to make sure I didn't miss anything. I guess just like we're also doing some important advocacy work in the community. So if you're interested in getting involved, if you don't need like our direct services, but you're interested in getting involved in some of our advocacy work, which involves especially our most recent campaigns have been around decrim sex work and decrim drug paraphernalia in DC. That's some stuff that we're working on and is blasted all over our social media. So please, if you want to get involved in those campaigns, email outreach@hips.org or follow us on social media, and you should find that information there. We really, really need as much support as we can get around that work because, as we all know, criminalization is not going to save us, and we've got to get folks on board for that mission.
You're fighting the good fight, Alex. Cool. Okay. Any more questions in the comments? Like, please put anything down there. We're here to answer things for you. You have some supporters down there, Alex, I can see.
Awesome. We love y'all.
But if I don't see anything else, I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming on. This has been so much fun.
Thank you for having me and for having HIPS. And yeah, reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yeah.
And awesome partnering with you, Whitman-Walker. You're always great.
Yeah. All right. Catch you later, Alex. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.
Bye.